Right, you join us on father and son's road trip to Scotland in May 2023. This is a trip really with both Tom and Will and friends. So we're in the Defender 90. Tom's in his Range Rover, and we've got a couple of other cars with us with friends in, so there's a convoy, if you like, which is great. Currently on our way to Mallaig to catch a ferry to Skye, and the plan is that we go out to the Outer Hebrides, the Western Isles, and then back into the mainland. Camping most of it, so yeah, really looking forward to it. Got the dog as well, so Otto's come along for the ride, and he's quite enjoying it. So yeah. So we're at Glenbrittle campsite this morning, and going to head over to North and South Uist, and then later today we're catching the ferry from Uig to Lochmaddy, and we're then camping on Uist tomorrow. So it was lovely last night. We basically sat on the beach as the sun went down. We had a nice bottle of whiskey with us, so that worked really well. The dog's really enjoying himself. Had a few issues with midges this morning, but nothing major. Looking forward to heading out. The cars are doing really well. We fitted some CB radios just so that we could have some communications between the cars as we go along, and that's proved really useful actually.
Just a precaution, Dave, we're getting hot again. Dear, right, you want to stop? Stops, we've stopped. Yeah.
So we're arriving in Lochmaddy on, I think it's North Uist. It's been a long day actually. It's, what is it? Getting on for 8 in the evening, and we've still got an hour's drive to get to the campsite. But we really feel like we're out in the Outer Hebrides now. Right, so we're leaving the campsite in South Uist. We're currently heading up the main highway through South Uist to North Uist to catch the ferry to Lewis and Harris, and the roads are amazing really. There's just like one road running right through the island, and it's like the M1 just going through, but it's obviously there's passing places. Certain bits of it are dual carriageway, or not dual carriageway, but 2 lanes, and other bits are really narrow. But yeah, it's been good. So we're on the ferry between North Uist and Lewis, I think. And it's only a short distance, but it's about 2 hours of a trip, and I'm thinking that can't be right. But actually, once you're on the boat, you realise why it's 2 hours, because they literally have to zigzag between a whole load of little islands, and it's going at quite a slow pace. But you can see quite clearly there's a defined track that they have to go through to avoid hitting any of these little islands. That's why it takes a couple of hours. But yeah, really interesting. Absolutely. So we're on the boat from Stornoway to Ullapool, back to the Scottish mainland. This morning we did a whisky distillery tour on Lewis, which was really interesting. It's only a small place, only been going 10 years, so they've just about got their first malts available. And it was nice to see a small business, whisky distilling business, on the island. Did some great driving on the beach this morning, which was good. Took the Defenders onto the beach, I think Tom took his Range Rover on as well, so that was good. And then we found a couple more beaches, huge white sands. The dogs loved it, so they got a chance to run around a bit. But it makes me want to come back actually. I think Lewis and Harris seem to have a lot more in terms of scenery. North and South Uist seems to be fairly flat. But yeah, nice to be back on the mainland now, I think. Last night we got off the ferry at Ullapool. I have to say the ferry was very nice, quite modern. I think it was built in 2014, so relatively new compared to some of the other ones that the Calmac ferries have. We headed off out of Ullapool and we had a quick look at a gorge just to the east of Ullapool. Deep gorge with a river running through it. There's lots of viewing points. The dog had lots of fun. So that was good. And then we headed off to Shielding campsite, which I have to say was fantastic. A warm welcome when we got there, clear explanation where we were to pitch. You know, the facilities are fantastic and the view is brilliant. Going to head down to the Trossachs National Park, and we've got a permit to wild camp tonight within the woodlands and so on by a loch. So that should be really nice. And that will be the last night. So today is more about just heading down to the Trossachs, and we'll see what we see on the way down. Well, today is the last day of the road trip around Scotland. Yesterday we drove from Shielding all the way down to the Three Forest Drive, which is near Aberfoyle, so into the Trossachs. The park runs a permit scheme for camping, and it's basically wild camping with a permit. So we set up a nice little spot in our designated area and we had a lovely evening. It was obviously totally different from a campsite scenario, so it made it a bit special really for the last night. So yeah, we've really enjoyed it and definitely planning to do something again at some point in the future.